Good morning to panel committees and dear audience. I'm Nadia Haji Kasim. I'm presenting our concept paper entitled Teaching and Learning Writing in ESL Classrooms Using Facebook, a review on its effectiveness and limitations. I'm representing my group members Nazira Abdul Rashid, Noraini Mat Said, and Muhammad Farid Akmal Adam. This paper is co-authored by our respectful professors Dr. Melor Mat Yunus and Dr. Harwati Hashim. Here is the layout of our presentation. I will start with the introduction and the literature reviews, then followed by Facebook as a learning and teaching tool, as well as a tool to teach and learn ESL classrooms generally and writing specifically. I will then continue with the effectiveness and limitations of using Facebook in teaching writing before presenting the discussion part and ends with a conclusion. From the global perspective, we would like to highlight the number of Facebook active users of the first quarter of 2022 shared by Statista Research Department on April 2022, which was 2.93 billion. There are other findings by foreign researchers, which are Sirividin P. in 2018 from Thailand and Lirola 2021 from Spain, which claim that students had improved in writing skills through Facebook comments. Lirola also found that teachers' attributes regarding students' interaction with students, creating diversity, and making corrections had improved. Al-Fatah M.A. et al. In 2016 from Saudi Arabia had found that students improved in grammatical and writing competence through collaborative writing. From the local perspective, NapoleonCat.com portal in March 2021 had declared the amount of Facebook users in Malaysia was 27,200,000. Local researchers like Faryadi in 2017 had claimed that Facebook helped in brainstorming process and increased the students' motivation. Yunus M.M. et al. In 2011 had found that students have improved in language proficiency, comprehension skills, and critical thinking, which help in developing higher order thinking skills. Feng K.P., Hashim H., and Sulaiman N.A. in 2021 had shared the teacher's perspective in preferring technology, Facebook included, in conducting lessons as they found it easy to look for teaching and learning materials. However, Sabaruddin in 2019 had found the problems with using Facebook as a teaching tool due to the low internet connection and students' shortcomings as well as unreadiness. Yunus M.M. et al. In 2012 had also pointed out that distractions from other features in Facebook can be a problem. As a learning and teaching tool, Facebook has lots of features that can serve the purpose, such as chat room, comments, notifications, messages, news feeds, events, groups, live and polls, and etc. All these can be utilized for teaching purposes. As a tool in teaching and learning English as a second language, Matthew Lynch, in his article 10 Ways to Use Facebook in the Classroom, posted in the advocate.org, had listed 5 different ways Facebook features can help. The students can share important events, document class adventures, make global connections, develop profiles, and share learning material and post students' work. All these are made possible by the ability to share information and create a network of friends. In teaching and learning writing in ESL classrooms, most teachers opt to use Facebook to solve the problems of teaching writing in the conventional way, which are lack of vocabulary, bad grammar, poor spelling, students' unpreparedness, and lack of exposure to books and reading materials as shared by Megawati Anugrawati in her article in 2012. The other common problems are students' perception of writing as a process which is stressful and arduous, taught in monotonic techniques with the absence of instructional media. This is found by Purwanti in 2015. It is believed that Facebook can be the solution to teach writing because it conforms with the proven workable approaches in teaching writing introduced by James Harmer in his book entitled Writing, the Practice of English Language Teaching, which was published in 2002. And they are process approach writing, cooperative writing approach, genre approach writing, and genre approach writing. James also highlighted the fact that teachers can play their roles as a motivator, a resource, or a feedback provider when teaching writing. We can glance through the process writing approach, which involves 5 steps using White and Arndt's model. Feedbacks and comments from both teachers and students can take place in any steps, be it the drafting, the structuring, the reviewing, the focusing of the main message, and the generating of ideas, and the evaluation before coming up with the end product. In genre approach writing, which the common genres would be argumentative, expository, narrative, and descriptive, Facebook can help through the sharing of images, videos, and audio files to stimulate the sensory experience needed when developing content for narrative and descriptive writing. For the argumentative writing, De La Rosa had developed Facebook Argumentative Writing Interface Model, which was known as FAWI, indicates that Facebook is one of the most helpful platforms in the teaching of argumentative writing. Expository type of writing can be taught using the model as well. Here are the 14 steps of FAWI model, where we can see how Facebook features can play important roles for the adoption of this model. In the highlighted steps, we can see the steps of liking and unliking arguments, notifying students, sharing of insights, posting of issues, attaching comments, and turning on the feedback functions are all using Facebook features. The use of Facebook also confirms with the cooperative writing approach, as it requires the presence of others in making writing a cooperative activity. Even executed online, it works well with the process writing and genre-based approaches. And this is according to Harmer in 2002. Kasuma, in her research done in a university at the northern part of Malaysia in 2017, had made a claim that the students believe the teachers will ensure sufficient English language content and materials in the group. This proves that teachers' role as a motivator, resource, and feedback provider when conducting writing lessons through Facebook also confirms with the students' belief. The effectiveness of teaching writing using Facebook from the aspect of students' confidence and motivation level, Yancey had claimed that the informal structure of Facebook had encouraged social communication and results in students feeling less worried about making grammatical mistakes. Tanani Raksakul had found that students' interest and motivation had increased when learning writing through Facebook. From the perspective of language skills, as shared by Sarabuddin in 2019, Facebook is an effective tool as students are able to give comments on their grammatical mistakes through peer feedback. Bladner and Fiore, in their article published in 2019, found that the fact that teachers and students can give impact instantaneously, students' attitude in learning writing and their writing skills had improved. Yunus MM and Solihi in 2012 had shared their findings that their grammar mastery had developed when learning writing using Facebook. The students also can benefit in exchanging resources such as texts, videos, links to English tutorial programs as shared by ECOC in 2014 and Harvard in 2019. The videos of difficult lessons can be viewed by students through live streaming using Facebook Live features. This will increase the students' enthusiasm, motivation, and participation level. They also can enjoy the authority to investigate topics that they are more interested in, as shared by Kasuma in 2017. There are other conveniences enjoyed by students when learning writing through Facebook, which are the ability to practice and post their writing whenever and wherever they are, and the fact that they can save their environment by reducing the usage of paper, apart from being able to make the learning process enjoyable. The common limitations of using Facebook in teaching writing are the distractions by other features in Facebook, the attitudes from the students themselves, and the low-speed internet connection. Distractions can come from invitations to play games or other irrelevant links shared by their friends through Facebook. The students' unreadiness to participate in the comments and choose to be silent readers can also be a problem. The low-speed internet connection is a problem beyond their control as it depends on the geographical location of the students or the internet package the school and their parents subscribe to. How Facebook features can help the effectiveness and the limitations of teaching writing using Facebook in ESL classrooms have been highlighted in this paper. However, it is believed that further research in identifying specific students' profiles who prefer Facebook as a tool in learning writing and the comparison between Facebook and the other mushrooming SNS and applications like the Instagram, TikTok, WhatsApp, and others can be looked into. As a conclusion, it can be seen that the effectiveness of using Facebook to teach writing in ESL classrooms outweighs the limitations. Teachers' role as moderator can alleviate the challenges of the limitations. Therefore, Facebook as a tool in teaching writing is an alternative worth considering. That is the end of our presentation. Thank you for your time.